Hey guys, it's Halloween real soon and this year I decided to be Maleficent. This video is quite long as I'm making the costume as well as the makeup, so I've added annotation so you can skip to different parts of the tutorial. Keep watching to find out how I created this look and I hope you enjoy. Starting off with her witch stick thingy, the sphere is just made from an old Christmas bauble I had lying around, so first just take off the attachment. To get the really cool colours I just experimented here and this bit is really messy. I used some old nail varnishes and just started tipping them on the ball and twisting it so the colours fell really nicely. Everyone needs a bit of glitter in their life and I was just looking around and found some glitters that match the colours, so I added them to give it a really cool effect. So next on to the actual stick. For this I bought a simple metal broom pole from a home store for about £1. In order to spray paint it black, I'm paper macheing it with just PVA glue, water and paper rippings layered on top of each other. So after a quick search of the details of her stick, I noticed it had a kind of twisty pattern on it. So for this I am taking 2 long cuts of rope about the length of the pole and I then tie the ends. I took some tape and then taped the ends to the floor and then I twisted the rope around each other. Using PVA glue I then stick the rope to the top of the pole and twist it around using glue to hold it in place. I then actually went back, you'll see in a sec, and I doubled this as I thought it looked a little bit thin. The next part is making it black. I just got some black spray paint on eBay and I'm covering the outside of the floor in newspaper so my mum doesn't scream at me, and please do this outside as it will really stink your house out. I also got some fake autumn leaves off eBay and I'm spraying these too. They make a really cool kind of crown for the stick, which you'll see in just a second. After this you'll just need to stick it all together. I'd suggest maybe using a glue gun or something that will make it really secure. This is the final witch stick thing and I'm so happy with it. I think it looks awesome. Next, a bit of a search because it is time for the horns. So I had a thick black hairband in my bedroom and all you need to do is decide where you want to put the horns, and I used the top of my eyebrow arch as a reference point. Once you've done that, you want to take some tin foil and wrap a little as a horn starting point where the duct tape is. I actually changed the way I was going to do this, so if you're a bit like, what, and all confused, it will all work out, I promise. The easiest way I found to start the shape of the horns is to take a large piece of foil and start to wrap it around a bit like a tube. Once you have your base, you can start to shape it and add more to the top and make it higher and pointier. I miraculously managed to ace my first horn shape, so a really good idea that I had was to draw around that on some paper. With the second horn I could then see if it wasn't thick enough so I could add more foil in places that needed it. To secure the hairband I folded the duct tape to make double-sided tape and then I used more to tape it in place. I then took a few random bits and taped that around the whole horn on parts where the foil wasn't really staying in place. The next part is more paper mache time. I'm doing this mainly so the horns dry quite hard and aren't that easy to break apart on Halloween, so just the good old glue, water and paper routine. I stuck some pins in at the ends just so the paper wouldn't come apart from the foil whilst it was drying. After that I decided that my horns were a little thin at the end, so I'm just adding some more foil to bulk them up. The next part is covering them in black. At first I did think about painting them, but I actually watched Maleficent the night before this and noticed you can see some really cool twisting lines on the horns, so I decided to use some black duct tape and just twist them all the way up. Now for the final part, which I almost forgot, that really cool collar that she has. I just measured and cut what I thought was a good triangle shape from some cardboard. In a second you'll see me make these exact shapes again, and it's just because I had another box which was made of way thicker cardboard. After you have these shapes, you're going to need some thin wire. I just found mine lying around, but make sure that it's thin enough so you can bend it. I also don't have a glue gun, so I just stuck these to the edges of the shapes with more duct tape to secure them. Our final part is to cover these. You can use black tape, but they're going to be pinned onto my dress, so I figured that material would be best. For the smaller triangles, I used some fake black leather from an old bag I had and a t-shirt for the larger ones. All you need to do is draw around the triangles with about 1 centimetre or so give and cut them out. Then you need to make sure the two cutouts are facing inside out and sew them together with the bottom left open. Once they're sewn up, flip them inside out and slot the triangles inside. For the larger triangles, I also cut out a kind of dome shape just so that they would fit around my neck, and then I sewed the bottom up. This is what the final collar will look like, and next it's makeup. Straight in with the white Snazaroo face paint and the foundation, I'm just going to mix these together for a really pale complexion. Next, I'm just going to set this with some e.l.f. translucent powder. Now, I wouldn't normally fill in my brows because they're actually tattooed, but I'm really good at getting foundation in my brows, so I'm just going in with some powder. It's then my holy grail of Urban Decay's eyeshadow primer. Back to the Snazaroo face paint, this time in black. I'm just making the line of her really defined cheekbones. As this was the first time doing this makeup, next time I think on actual Halloween I might start with the powder first and then use the face paint to define later. I'm just taking an eyeshadow blending brush without any product on it to try and blend that line in. Next, I'm using a black eyeshadow to try and help blend the cheekbone line and make it look a little bit softer. Bring that up to the forehead and around the face for some dark contour. Using a little bit of highlight here just for the cheekbones, and then next is onto the eye makeup with Vice 3. I'm just creating a line here for the start of my purple eyeshadow, which I actually completely messed up, but the other eye looked so much better. Just apply that purple eyeshadow all over the lid. Got to get back on that brow bone highlighting game. I'm just going back in with Vice 3 Bobby Dazzle. It's now time to blend. I'm going with Vice 3 Bondage and I am just blending in my crease. Using that same Collection 2000 purple eyeshadow, I'm just following my lower lash line and then blending it out. The exact same for the other eye, and look how much better that line is right there. Going back in with that highlight because you can never have too much. I'm just going back in with that brow bone and I'm doing the inner corner of my eyes as well. Then I'm going in with Revolver from Vice 3 and I'm just redoing that awful line earlier. Next, it's the eyeliner time. I am terrible at liquid eyeliner. I have really small eyes, but I'm sure you can go to town with this one. Lipstick time. I went for MAC lip liner in Ruby Woo and lipstick in Russian Red. I did not attempt to Angelina Jolie my lips because it takes forever to get them looking neat, but I probably will for Halloween. Then I'm going to contour them corners, I don't know, shade, something like that, with a darker lip liner just to make them look all cool and 3D and whatever. Next, it is the lashes time. I'm just curling them, adding some mascara, and then I will be adding some false lashes in, I think they're called Iconic. I think this really brings the whole look together, and lashes are just my favourite thing in the entire world. This is my finished eye look, and I think it's evident that I possibly need some eyeliner tips or lessons or something, life coaching, I don't know. For the hair, I added some dry shampoo, mainly because my hair was gross that day. I'm then adding some hairspray and back combing it. The idea is to kind of get a beehive look, but it was pretty gross that day. This is my final Maleficent look, clothes, accessories and all. I bought a cheap choker from eBay, I'm wearing a long chiffony dress from Boohoo, and I'm actually wearing the cape that I made for my actor in my latest music video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, it was so much fun to make, and I hope you will have an awesome Halloween.